Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is Saturday. Welcome to my kitchen. This is the Muffin Madrina Live. I know that you guys haven't seen me for a little bit, and I was hoping to come on today and be able to do some healthy cinnamon apple muffins. So if you're joining us today, please give us a shout out, a little thumbs up, some little hearts, a little hand wave, and make sure that you can let us know that you're on live. So I know that I've kind of been in hiatus, kind of away, but I actually been taking some time to do some things. And I don't know, sometimes if you guys ever felt like your motivation gets a little bit, under the weather. And so, hi, good morning, Felicia. Oh, there's my goddaughter. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. How are you doing? So, thanks everybody for joining. I know some of you are probably wondering what happened to Muffin Madrina moment this past week. I gotta tell you, this week was a little bit difficult for me. I didn't even go walking, which, I normally at least try to 2 to 3 times walk with one of my friends, my walking buddy partner, Wanda, but that didn't even happen. And I have to confess, I did say about meatless month of May, and that has not worked out very well for me. Yes, we're doing well, Felicia. I'm glad. I hope you're doing well as well. So yes, if you're just joining us, this is the Muffin Madrina Live. Please give us a shout out. Make sure to heart us or hit like, share, let other people know that we're on live right now. Good morning, Joanne. Thanks for joining us this morning. So I'm just giving a few more minutes for folks to join us. That way we can get started with these healthy cinnamon apple muffins that I'm really looking forward to. Who out there likes apples? By a show of hands. Raise your hands. Who likes apples? I like apples. And we have around here in Georgia during the fall, we have a location up here in North Georgia where they do a lot of apple farms, and there's a lot of apple picking. Oh, but let me tell you, you need to go during when everybody's at work, because if you try to go over the weekends, it is horrible. I remember that I took Frank with me to go check out apple picking. OMG, you had to have seen how, after you drive for a good while, because it was at least an hour or an hour and a half, I can't remember the distance. But, hi, Madrina, my Madrina's on here. Good morning, Sandra, my Madrina. Nice to see you. Oh, Joanne likes apples. Okay, great. And so, going back to my story, we drove all the way to this place. I think we ended up parking in a dirt type kind of scenario. It was difficult to find parking. And then the lines were atrocious just to even try to get some things. And we couldn't get on the hay, what is it called? When you get on the the horses are pulled. Okay, I'm drawing a blank. Hi, Adaris. Good morning. Thanks for joining me. Oh, this is awesome. Please make sure you share and hit like and get your friends to come on here. But going back to my story, I can't even remember. Oh my gosh, what is the carts? The horses, like a horse riding. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, well, we couldn't even do that. I think we ended up only buying the apple cinnamon donuts, which are really good. And but we ended up finding it in a little shop, because there's all these little shops on the way and back. So thank you, Sandra, for sharing. Thank you everybody. So let's get rolling. So I know we haven't been on here for a little bit, but if you did the pina colada muffins that I put the recipe on last weekend, please make sure to share that, or if you have a picture of it, make sure that you put it. Yes, on a horse carriage. Thanks, Aladdin. And make sure that you put your picture on the Muffin Madrina Live, or you can send it to our email. So our email is themuffinmadrina@gmail.com. Okay? So the interesting thing about this recipe today, as I mentioned on the post, you're gonna see on the Muffin Madrina page all the ingredients, okay? And what's neat about this is that it has like several sections of it, and we get to do a crumble today. And so I'm excited about that. You know, this is my first time. And so you know that those of you that know me, you know, this is all experimental for me, all this baking and trying to figure things out. So the first thing we're gonna do is we need a small bowl. Okay, so I'm gonna put these bowls on the side here because we need several bowls. And instructions for the recipe is to start off with the crumble. Now, if you are trying to follow along and you want the specifics, you can go to fitmittenkitchen.com. This is where we got the recipe from. Okay, and so before you start with the crumble, make sure that your stove, you have it at 425 degrees, and make sure that your pans are already greased. And if you notice, my muffin tin pan is behind me. This initial batch is going to give you 9 muffins, okay? So if you don't have a 9 muffin pan or a 6-piece muffin pan, really it's gonna give you 9. You can use a 12 pan one and make sure that all you gotta do is grease 9 sections of it, okay? Great. Now, let's get rolling. Now, in order to do the crumble, what we need to do is make sure of what we have. Okay, so we need to make sure that we have 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil, which I have right here. So this is 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. And make sure that things come over here to the sink. That way we're not making major messes for later to pick up, right? And the next thing we're gonna have to do is 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. So I've got my coconut sugar here. As you guys know, coconut sugar tends to be a little brownish looking. So we'll want to drop 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. Then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of whole wheat flour. So mine is whole grain wheat flour. You guys remember that I have bought like a whole batch. I'm almost done one bag. I still have another bag to go. And so basically, you're gonna have to, in order to create this crumble, 2 tablespoons. So we're just gonna dump this right in here. And you're gonna need oats, okay? Rolled oats. So remember, some recipes ago, we've been working with rolled oats in the past. So basically, all you gotta do is buy one of those bags of rolled oats or those containers that you used to do oatmeal with. And you know what? And even if you don't have that, if you have the little box of pre-packaged, even though we want you to do it from scratch, or the most without the less sugar, if you don't have rolled oats at home, but you have one of those packets, just take one of those packets, okay? So welcome everybody. Good morning. If you're just joining, this is the Muffin Madrina Live, and today we are trying out healthy cinnamon apple muffins, okay? And so here we're about to turn in 3 tablespoons of rolled oats, okay? So once that is done, the last thing you want to do is do a dash of ground cinnamon. Okay, I know there's folks out there that they don't like certain things. They don't like cinnamon, they don't like other things. I happen to like cinnamon. My household happen to like cinnamon, so we are going to be trying out cinnamon. And all you need is a dash, okay? So here's our little cinnamon and a dash. There you go, which I hope that's a dash. Now, we're just going to whisk this around and make sure that everything is blended together, okay? So just whisk it, because remember, you had the little oil, coconut oil on there and things like that. So whisk, 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 okay? And then here it'll create your crumble. Once the muffins are done, you're gonna be able to sprinkle that over, okay? So let's put this to the side right now, because we're gonna need that a little later. Now, our next thing is we're going to take a medium-sized bowl and we're gonna start adding our dry ingredients, okay? So what are our dry ingredients? Our dry ingredients is going to be, obviously, our 1 3/4 cups and 2 tablespoons of whole grain wheat flour. Okay, so here we have it. I'm gonna dump this right in here. Now, if you don't happen to have whole grain flour at your house, you can use a regular unbleached flour, okay? Please try to stick to unbleached flour, okay? We all know about bleach and all those chemicals and things. But, you know, you can also like do half and half. If you have like unbleached and you have regular wheat flour, you can mix those up as well, okay? Or just go 100% whole wheat. I like the one I have of whole grain, so it really works out. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Muffin Madrina Live. Today we are right now doing healthy cinnamon apple muffins, and we are trying those out today, and we're trying to make sure that we continue on our health journey for 2021. Even though this week, maybe I want to say the beginning of the month, has been a little difficult to stay focused on walking and cutting down on certain things, okay? So if you're on there, please make sure to share. Please make sure to hit like, make some comments. What do you guys got planning today, Saturday? It's a little cold this morning here, down here in Georgia. If I would just give a shout out to my Massachusetts friends and family, Connecticut, Texas, Puerto Rico. Who am I missing? Did I miss a state or a location? My family out in California, my sister-in-law, I know she likes to watch a little bit after because, you know, they're in a different time zone. They're right now, they're probably still sleeping. And so, you know, I know there's a lot of folks that join after the fact because some of you are up with me this morning. Some of you probably are not up with me yet this morning. Or some of you already left your house and are doing a million things already this morning. And you'll probably come back and watch this later on. But if you do the apple muffins, the cinnamon apple muffins, please make sure to take a picture and post it on our page. Or if you don't feel comfortable, just send it to my email at themuffinmadrina@gmail.com. Okay, we have the flour. The next dry ingredient we're going to add is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to do this right here. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Well, sorry about that. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Making sure I got all my stuff over here. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon of, I had washed these early in the morning, so they're still a little wet. And some of the stuff got stuck to it. Okay, so tell me, who's an early Saturday morning riser? Who likes to wake up early on Saturdays, or do you sleep in? Please answer the question. Because I'm asking this is because until the Muffin Madrina, I never used to wake up so early on Saturdays. I actually would try to stay, you know, at least 8 o'clock or 9 if possible. But, you know, with the Muffin Madrina now, I'm like getting a lot earlier. Especially if I didn't get to do things yesterday, you know, on Friday evenings. Sometimes if I have last minute pickups that I need to do, we have a store here that opens at 6 a.m. And so, you know, I'll run a good morning, Ilma. Hi, nice to see you. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. And so shout out to everybody out there in Massachusetts. Joanne, you get up early, like how early? Like 5, 4, 6, 7? Give me a number. Hey, good morning to my sister Debbie. Nice to see you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying your beautiful Saturday. Okay, so the last thing that we just put in here was the baking soda. So the importance of the baking soda and baking powder. What does baking soda and baking powder do to your recipe? Does anybody know? Let's see, who is going to get a little brownie points today? What does baking soda and baking powder create? My sister says she's up at 6 a.m. Yes, she's got toddlers and a baby. They get up early. Oh, wow. Irma gets up at 6 a.m. Joanne at 5. Joanne's beating everybody. Oh, my goodness. So I have to admit, like I said earlier, if it wasn't for the Muffin Madrina, I would not be getting up at 5 or 6 on a Saturday morning. So yes, but I wouldn't be normally like, I want to get up at 8, I want to get up at 9. But Frankie always has a project or something we're going to do, or if I wanted to go hiking, we try to go a lot earlier before the crowds get there. And so, you know, you got to get out of the house early in order to make these trips. Yes, Joanne got the right answer. The baking powder and the baking soda helps everything rise up. It's called a leavening agent. I may have said that wrong. My accent just walked in here. But it's Leavening. And so that creates it to go up. Sandra says, I tried to sleep in a bit, but doesn't always happen. Oh, I understand. You're a busy woman. You got to try to sleep a little bit. I know you've been doing a lot of things during the week. Good morning, Mom. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me at the Muffin Madrina Live. Please make sure everybody to hit like. Please make sure to share and tell your friends that we're up live and going. And Joanne says you got to feed the cat. Well, yeah, you got to, yes. If you're pet owners, some of your pets even wake you up earlier, right? It's not only the little kids. Okay, now that we've done the powder, the baking soda, and the baking powder, our next ingredient is to make sure you have a half a teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna put that right in here. And today I'm gonna explain something to you that I found out while I was reading labels and things while I was shopping. Which, remember how I told you guys how important it is to read labels, okay? Good morning, Titi Joanna. Oh, can you say hello to my uncle, Tio Manuelito? Thanks for joining me this morning. Hope everybody's well. And so, making sure that you all give a shout out. Please let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. Put your thumbs up or say yes or smiley faces. Good morning to my sister Jenny. Shout out everybody. Oh, you guys are here this morning. Okay, great. Okay, let's keep focusing here. I'm getting so excited. You know, I didn't get to get on here last weekend, so I'm like seeing everybody this morning. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put my apron. Oh boy. So yes, it's important to put my apron on because sometimes I have, oh yes, they say they can hear me. That's great. And so sometimes I have little, you know, oopsies and mistakes that happen. And so we want to keep everything in place. Okay, so now we're going to go put a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Now, as I said earlier, there's some folks that don't like cinnamon. The recipe calls for it. You can try substituting it. But we're going to go ahead and put a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. You know, I don't know if you guys know, I mean, this is what at least I've read. The cinnamon is actually good for you, for your body. It creates, what was it? It has a tendency to rise your metabolism and assist you if you're trying to be healthier. And so you could throw cinnamon in your coffee. You could throw cinnamon in your tea. You could put it in the water and obviously in your muffins. Okay? So we're going to do a whole tablespoon of cinnamon. Now, these next ingredients are optional, okay? So it is called allspice, allspice, and ground nutmeg. And so, you know, these can be a little strong, and all it talks about is a dash. It's a sprinkle, just a dash. So don't go crazy. This is the nutmeg. You know, nutmeg is a little strong, but all you gotta do is a little dash. I think that's enough dash. I'm not gonna do too much. And then this is allspice, which is ground. And so we're gonna put a little bit of this. I mean, I gotta admit with you, I have to admit, guys, I've never used these ingredients. They've been in my house. I bet you my husband, my oldest son who cook, have used this, but I have not. This is like probably the first time I'm using this. Oh, Sandra says she loves allspice. Oh, wait a minute. Is this like the allspice for my wedding cake, Sandra? Like what they did for my wedding cake? Remember when we did it? Was it like an allspice? Yes. Okay, so maybe we'll do a little bit more than a dash. Okay, no. I'm going to try to stick to it. Oh, they're giving a shout out to my husband from his mother-in-law. Thanks, Mom. She's always loving on her son-in-law. Okay. So, make sure that you put a dash of allspice. Now, once all of this is in here, okay, you also want to, you know, turn it all together, okay? So, we're going to mix this all so everything blends, okay? Just don't throw. You want to make sure that you have mixed everything together. So, you could do it with a big spatula or go back to your little whisk and whisk it together. Now the good thing about the whisk, because you know the flour and everything kind of goes through it and then just kind of moves everything around for you. So just whisk, whisk, whisk. Hi everybody, thanks you again for joining. So anybody has any special plans for Memorial Day weekend? I mean, you know, this month, this year, Memorial Day weekend falls in an odd, like it's the last month. Is it normally the last Monday of the month? Because I thought it was going to be the 24th, but according to the calendar, it's on the 30th or the 31st. 30 days after April, June, and November. So I think it's the 30th this year, on Monday the 30th. Oh, my mom's making Puerto Rican sofrito, which I need. Okay, I know people, for those of you that are watching, why doesn't Gloria do her own Puerto Rican sofrito? I probably should try that. Maybe I should put that on a Muffin Madrina live, me trying out how to make sofrito. Because I don't make sofrito. I will buy sofrito from whoever makes it in the neighborhood if I find friends that make it. Or I have to confess, I sometimes buy some of those Goya products in the freezer that they have in the freezer here at the grocery stores and Publix that they have. I know. It's not like back home. I can't find sofrito like just, you know, in a regular store. Unless I go find somebody who makes it. So I guess I have to make it. Oh, yes. And so thanks, Adaris, for the squirrel. So anyways, we're going to put together, this is together. And our next bowl, what we're going to do is we're going to add our applesauce. Okay? And one of the things that I need to tell you guys about the applesauce that I found out, you need to be careful which applesauce you're buying. Even though it says unsweetened, there's also applesauces that, if you read the back of the labels, depending on the brand, some of them have high fructose sugar or high fructose syrup. And as you guys know, that turns into sugar and it's not good sugar for our bodies. So read the back of it. Also look out for what is called ascorbic acid. You know, that basically creates the color to maintain the color and the freshness. So even though, you know, those things were created to help preserve food, some of those things that help preserve actually go against the chemicals in our own body. So the less that you take of it, the better. So, and even be careful, not everything organic is 100% organic. It also may have things. So here we are, applesauce. We're gonna dump that in. It's a third, I think it was, I believe, a third cup of it, of applesauce that we're gonna put in. Next, we are going to do maple syrup. Now, it's gonna be a quarter cup of maple syrup. Hi, Sasha. Hey, girl, how you doing? Oh my gosh, she's my high school friend. So thank you for joining the Muffin Madrina today. And so, okay, I've got a napkin around here, a towel, make sure. So one of the things I want to mention to you about the maple syrup, I actually bought a different one today, and it's called monk fruit maple syrup. It says it's keto friendly, but I found out that monk fruit is actually a small green melon that grows in Southeast Asia. And basically they take the extract of the fruit. It's called monk fruit. So it's natural, and so it's a lot sweeter than cane sugar, but it doesn't have the calories and the carbs that we do not want to have, okay? And so I just picked it up. This is called Birch Benders. So if you want to check it out, try it out. I thought it was great. It's got a good taste. I even tried to taste it a little bit beforehand. But anyways, so we got the maple syrup, and now we also have to have a third cup of coconut sugar. So there is kind of like a lot of sweetness to this thing and sugar as it adds up. But remember, you're using different types of alternative sugar where the coconut's a lot better than other ones, okay? And remember, you only eat one muffin. You just try one muffin and share your muffins with somebody else. Okay, coconut sugar. So we're gonna whisk this all together as it creates a little paste. Awesome. So then, after this, we are going to add the oil, the coconut oil, which was about close to 2 tablespoons of coconut oil into here. We are also going to add an egg. Now, if you are trying to be vegan, you can make your own flaxseed egg. We are not vegan at this point in time, and so we're gonna go with the regular large egg. So this is 1 large egg, okay? And we need to make sure that we have thrown our vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, okay? Dump that inside. Now we're also going to whisk this again. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Make sure that egg breaks up and everything just So this is your wet ingredients, okay? We've already done our dries. They're standing by. And now we're just doing our wet ingredients. And this is what's gonna give the flavor and the sweetness to our healthy cinnamon apple muffins today. So what do you guys have planned today? Anybody got any special plans today? How's the weather out in Massachusetts today? Is it a little cold? We're supposed to go up to at least, I think, 70 something. But this morning was a little breezy. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is pour in the milk. So the milk is actually a dairy-free milk, so it's non-dairy. And what this is actually oat milk that I did. And you need to put a little bit, I think it was what, like a half, let me make sure, a half a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, okay? So we're gonna dump that in here as well. It smells really good. I like the allspice and the cinnamon combination. Hey, cuz! Oh, my other cousin's on here. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? It's nice and warm in Massachusetts, she says. Oh, nice. Well, we're a little, I mean, it's sunny here, but we're a slightly little cold, but it's supposed to warm up. So can't wait for that. And congrats to my cousin. Yes, congratulations to you. Double time. And so look at how nice this color is. Nice, huh? You guys like that? Okay, so now that we have done the milk and everything, we are going to mix everything together. And you're probably wondering, where are the apples? Where are the apples? Don't worry about it. The apples are next. So we're gonna combine this here. And they said with your spatula, you wanna turn it. So we'll turn it and then we'll whisk it, okay? So here you'll see that it's just, everything is thickening. Slowly but surely it's thickening. But what we wanna make sure is you don't over mix it, okay? It's okay if it's a little wet or anything, but you wanna make sure that you don't over mix. That's why we're not putting it in a blender. Laugh out loud. Hey, Titi Gloria, good morning. Oh, shout out to all my families on here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting the Muffin Madrina. So thank you. Make sure you guys hit like. Make sure you share it on your page. So right now we're doing some healthy cinnamon apple muffins. And you're probably all wondering, my family knows I'm not the most domesticated type person. So you're like in shock that I'm in the kitchen doing all this. But this is looking good. This batter is exactly the way it should look like. Because you don't want to over mix it, they said, okay? In the recipe. Does anybody have any suggestions? Hi, Heather. Good morning, Heather. My friend Heather. Yes, if you guys have, okay, I gotta put this plug in here. If you have not seen the pivot poll, I suggest that you go watch that on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Last Friday, I had the privilege and honor to be part of the panel and have a conversation. So we actually have that on our Muffin Madrina page, and I believe also on my personal page. So if you want to watch it, if you haven't, go ahead and go check it out. But every Friday, 9 p.m., pivot poll, Heather and Andretta, her best friend, they get together and talk about relevant topics, just discussions about, you know, what best friends talk about, right? No problem, Heather. You know me. I'm gonna give that plug. Okay, so this, I like the way this batch looks. I'm gonna try it. This tastes good. Okay. It does. This is gonna be good. Okay. Then the next thing is, what is the main ingredient to this muffin that we're supposed to put in here? Hey, Andretta! How's it going? Oh, good morning. Thanks for joining the Muffin Madrina. So Andretta, if you guys are seeing names as popping up on my live, she's the co-host over at the Pivot Poll. So you want to check out these ladies, Andretta and Heather, every Friday night at 9 p.m., okay? So this is nice. This is the color it should look. This is the texture that it should have for your main part of your muffins, okay? So what is it missing? What is it missing, people? Tell me, give me a shout out. What is the main ingredient to these muffins that we need to put in here, that is last to put in here? Who's got the answer? Let's see. I mentioned it earlier at the beginning. Yes, it is apples. So what you want to do is you want a cup of apples. And what you have to do is make sure that you have diced them. And you know, peel them. You actually can keep the skin on them if you want. But I have to admit, I took a shortcut. And some of these were, I bought one of those bags. So being in a rush. But obviously you want to make sure. So it's a whole cup of apples. Diced and chopped up. That you want to throw in here. Yes. And then all you're gonna do is, you know, like an envelope style, you know how you just turn them over? That's all you're gonna do is put the apples inside and mix it to the batter that you just created. Okay? Who likes apples? So those of you that just recently joined, everybody likes apples? You know, the interesting thing is that I actually would eat apples when I was younger, and then during college I developed like this weird allergy to like bananas, to apples, and what was the other thing? I can't remember now. Well, for a while I could only eat apples and bananas like covered with yogurt, but now Andrea likes the apples. Everybody likes apples, I hope. But now I can eat them regular. So I don't know, it's just something kind of odd. Okay, so the batch is done, and these were actually, I believe these were like those Fuji like apples. You know, there's all these kind of apples. There's the Gala apples, there's the Honey Crisp, there are the, what are the other ones? I haven't all memorized. Oh, hola Nancy, saludos, saludos. Oh, Nancy's on here from Texas. Está nublado y lloverá. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. But sometimes we need the rain. I know it's cloudy and rainy, pero a veces necesitamos la lluvia, ¿verdad? Para que todo crezca. So thank you. Shout out. Nancy is actually, oh, she used to be my teacher back in church when I was a young person. Yeah, she was an awesome teacher. Red Delicious. Oh, yes. Thanks, Heather. Thanks, you. We should give a quiz. Who can list off the most names of the types of apples? Anybody else can join? Okay. Now, while you are typing on there about how many different types of apples exist, you can even give me the number. I'm going to grab my pan. So, like I said earlier when we started off, the oven has been already on for 425. I have my muffin tin pan already greased. And remember that this particular recipe is actually for 9 muffins, okay? So the best way to do this is to get your trusty little scooper. You know, you could do ice cream scooper or you could do your cookie scoopers. And if you didn't get a chance to see my new scooper that I bought a couple of weekends ago, this is my new scooper with what? My favorite color. Honey Crisp. Yes, Joanne. Thanks, Joanne. Okay, so Heather's just listing them all. Pink Lady. Ooh, I wonder if I've tried a Pink Lady apple. And obviously green apples, which I have some right here. Okay, so we are going to put these in here. And as if this is your first time joining us, normally what happens is I put them in the oven. Then when they come out, I take a picture and I post them. So please, please make sure that if you're trying these out today, that you either send me your picture via email at themuffinmadrina@gmail.com or go ahead to the page and post. You can post it on Instagram. You can post it on our Facebook page as well. Okay. Well, this recipe calls for 9, but I have a feeling that this is going to make more than 9. Because this whole batch here of ingredients does not look like I can pull off 9. It looks like I can pull off more than 9. And we haven't even done the crumble on top. Pink Lady. Sandra says she likes Pink Lady. Oh, yes. Okay, well, technically it's 9. I guess, you know, I don't want to overfill, but let's put some other ones here. I'm making more than 9, guys, because it gave me 11. 2 more extra. But it smells so good. And you can see the apples. on it. Okay, my sink is like piling up. I'm just gonna have to do this a little bit afterwards. Okay, so the next thing is going back to our crumble that we did earlier, the first item. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna whisk it again a little bit in case it got a little bit stuck. And this is gonna create that crunchiness and sweetness on top of your muffins. Okay, so we're just gonna sprinkle. Ooh. So if you just got on late at the beginning, you're gonna notice we did the crumble. The crumble actually has ingredients with rolled oats and some sugar and some cinnamon on it, okay? So this is gonna create those little toppings on top of the muffin. Now, if you don't want the topping and you wanna cut down more on sugar, well, don't do it. Don't do it, you know? Do it without the crumble. But today, since I have not done a crumble at all for any of the muffins that I've done in the past, I've decided that I wanted to do it. Yes, and it smells so good and it's so yummy. Can't wait to try it. And I can't wait to see pictures. I like to take pictures of these after the fact. Okay, so we are going to put this in the oven for a total of 20 minutes, okay? Your oven should have been warming them up for 425 degrees, okay? So we're gonna go pop these guys in. And I wanna say thank you for joining me today. If this is your first time at the Muffin Madrina Live, I say thank you for joining me at my kitchen. We do this every Saturday at 8:30 in the morning. Sometimes we run a little late. I know today we were a little late, but we try to be on time. And once in a while, the Muffin Madrina needs a break, so that's why we were not doing that last weekend. It was Mother's Day weekend, so I took a break. But make sure to check us out on this Thursday at 8 p.m. for the Muffin Madrina moment. Also, oh, they're asking me, can we use stevia sugar? Yes, you can use stevia sugar. I believe you can substitute the coconut if you don't want to use coconut sugar. But you want to check the recipe online. It's actually coming from fitmittenkitchen.com, and she does give some alternatives if you don't want to use certain things. Okay? Thank you, Andretta. Thanks, Madrina Sandra. Thanks for joining me. So have a beautiful Saturday. Once these guys pop out, my husband and I are going to enjoy these because our sons are not here. And so we're going to enjoy these for breakfast. Going to make sure I take a picture, make sure that I share with you, and I hope to see you next Saturday. If you have some suggestions of things that we should try out, please let us know. But remember, we want it to be healthy and where we can try out new alternative ways of eating muffins. Bye and have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much. Have a blessed weekend, Titi Joanna. Thanks, Joanne. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget your tea.